First of all, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Solong, and I will be your host today. And my colleague, Dinesh, we will be co-hosting this event together. So welcome everyone to the second International Expert Sharing Meeting under the theme of Sustainable in International Education, Challenges and Opportunity. So allow me to introduce the flow of the event today. I will introduce the activity introduction to everyone, including the background of the activity and the background of our speakers. We will have a representative from Simulted who will be doing an opening remark for our event. And then we will move forward to the presentation sessions from all of our experts, and we will divide our presentation sessions into two. We have session one and session two with two experts for each session, following up with a Q&A session. And then after the presentations, we will have a group photo and ending conclusion to our event. So first of all, let me introduce some of the main information regarding our event. So the International Expert Sharing Meeting is organized by Simulted, CATEC, and International Youth Culture and Education and Go Study. And the main purpose for this event is to promote the exchange of education between experts among the ASEAN region and China. And it also provides a platform for many interactions between experts and students. And our event will be hosting every month with each session featuring a different theme. And each theme can depend on the experts such as education, business, engineering, and so on. So these are the institutions that our experts for today's event will be participating in. We have 4 experts coming from the following institutions. We have the Pankasakti Tegal University, Indonesia, Capiz State University, the Philippines, Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Polytechnic, Malaysia, and Rizal Technological University, the Philippines. And first of all, let me introduce you our first expert, Dr. Yoga Prihatin. She's from Pankasakti Tegal University, Indonesia. She's currently the Dean of the Teacher Training Education faculty of the Pankasakti Tegal University, and she also served as a coordinator at the Internationalization Division of LLD Dikti 6. And she's also a chairperson of Lecturers Association of Pankasakti Foundation of the Pankasakti Tegal University. And she specialized in teachers training, education, in internationalization. And for our second expert, she's from the Capiz State University, the Philippines. She's currently an associate professor at the Capiz State University, also currently the director for international and national affairs at Capiz State University. And she's also a former chair of the campus external affairs and learning coordinator. And her specialties are in international sustainability and instructional leadership. For our third expert, Mrs. Nicknor Ashima Arifin from Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Polytechnic, Malaysia. She is currently a senior lecturer at the Polytechnic. She is also a member of the Institute of Engineers from Malaysia. She also has won a gold medal for New Academy Learning Innovation in 2024. And she is specialized in the field of building information modeling, or we call it as BIM, industrialized building system, or we call it as IBS. And lastly, our last expert, Dr. Donato Estocada from Rizal Technological University from the Philippines. He is currently the Director of International Affairs and Linkage Office, also the Department Head of Financial Management at Rizal Technological University, and he is currently obtaining a doctoral degree in business admin. And he specialized in the field of marketing and financial management, accounting, data science analysis, and teaching. So now we will move on to the next session, which is the opening remarks from our partner Simulted. So today we have Mr. Pomara, Head of Technical Education and Training Division from Simulted, who will be delivering his opening remarks for our event today. So please welcome Mr. Pomara to do your opening remarks.
Can you hear me? Yes, so long.
Yes, very clear.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable speakers, educators, and all the students. Very warm greeting from Simotet office in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Maret, Head of Technical Education and Training Division of Simotet. It's my honor and pleasure to deliver the welcome remarks in today's event on behalf of Dr. Song Hing Ai, Center Director of Simotet. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this event on sustainability and in international education with the emphasis on challenges and opportunity. As the world becomes more interconnected, education plays a crucial role in shaping future leaders. Sustainability in international education, often referred to as education for sustainable development, which aims to empower learners to take informed decisions and responsible action for our environmental integrity, economic viability, and a just society for present and future generations. However, we must ask ourselves, how can we make international education sustainable? How can international education institutions contribute to sustainable development while continuing to provide rich cross-cultural learning experiences? We face several challenges. The most pressing is the carbon footprint of international travel. Students and faculty flying across the globe contribute significantly to carbon emissions. University also struggles with resources-intensive infrastructures, excessive waste, and disparity in access to digital education. Financial constraints further limit the ability of many institutions to invest in sustainable solutions. But amidst these challenges lie great opportunities. Virtual learning and hybrid programs allow students to gain international exposure with reduced travel. University can develop green campuses, invest in renewable energy, and integrate sustainability into curricula, ensuring that future generations are environmentally conscious. Additionally, global collaboration among institutions enables the sharing of best practices and innovative solutions.
Go.
Sustainability in international education is not just a goal, it is a responsibility. By embracing technology, fostering collaboration, and rethinking traditional education models, we can ensure that global learning continues without compromising the planet's future. On a final note, I appeal to all the participants to pay attention to our outstanding speakers and stay engaged throughout the session by asking questions and sharing useful knowledge in this event. Finally, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our partners, all the participants, and most of all the speakers of today's event. Till next time, thank you. Back to you, Solon.
Thank you, Mr. Mara, for your opening remarks. So now let's move on to the expert presentation session. And I would like to inform you some of the ground rules for the session. So please remain, for the audience, please remain muted during the presentation session so we all can hear and understand what the experts are presenting on. And if you have any questions regarding the topic, please drop it in the chat box and our expert will be addressing these questions by the end of the session. So first of all, let me introduce the expert who will be doing the presentation for the first session. So we have two experts. We have Dr. Yoga and Dr. Marian Loreto, who will be doing the presentation, and each expert will be speaking for 15 minutes on their topics. So first, let me introduce the topics of our expert. So for our first expert, Dr. Yoga, her topic will be on sustainability strategies for private higher education in Indonesia, challenges and opportunities. And our second expert's topic is strengthening international partnership for sustainable education. So please welcome Dr. Yoga to the floor. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Solong. Can you hear my voice well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So let me share the screen first for my presentations. Can you see that well? The screen?
It's currently loading.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Can you make it full screen?
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me today that I can join this international expert sharing session. I'd like to, nice meeting you all here. I'd like to talk about a very specific topic about the sustainability strategies for private higher educations in Indonesia, challenges and the opportunities. Later on, I will be specify into my own university. Well, the private higher educations in Indonesia has a very important role because it fills the limited capacity of public university and the increasing number of the students seeking higher educations. That's addressing the demand of those who cannot get into the public institutions. So, yes, because Indonesia's now it has about 4,000, more or less 4,000 university, and less than 60% of the students they go to the private university. That is why it is very important for the it has the private university has a very important role in growing the development of Indonesian education, and also politically, socially, and economically. Well, a private university provide relevant education that aligns with the job opportunities. They play a vital role in Indonesian human capital development and economic growth, like I have mentioned previously, contributing to the nation's goal of becoming a knowledge-based economy. Now, let's move. Sorry, it means it doesn't. Just a moment.
Wala talaga ako sa alam.
Okay. Well, sustainability in higher education. So, there are many aspects when we talk about the sustainability in higher education. One of them is the addressing global challenges. So, higher education, especially the private university, because I talk about private university needs addressing pressing on global challenges like climate change and social inequality and economic instability. And also it is very important for the private university to integrate sustainability into their operation, curricula, and research to promote responsible global citizens. And also it is very important for the private university adopting the sustainable practices, ensuring that the long-term viability and relevance of private higher education institutions in Indonesia. Well, promoting green campus is also one of the sustainability in higher educations that private university must concerns about the focusing on campuses and economic and social dimensions. Financial stability of the private university also, I think, the most important thing to have the to promote like equitable access to education and community engagement, well as the research development in private university. Well, of course, a private university enhancing institutional reputations. It can be attracting the stakeholder or other international institutions, or perhaps the government and other industries to promote the international the reputations to to promote the sustainability of the private higher educations. Well, yes, the preparing students to tackle the real world challenges also needs to be focused. Need to be one of the focuses of the private university for their sustainability, and then contributing to the SDGs. That's it really aligns to the core vision and mission of the private universities. So each university, I believe, they have their own vision and missions, and it must be aligned with the sustainability. Now, here at university, my current objectives of my presentation today is I'm going to present about current landscape of private higher education in Indonesia in general, and identify key challenges hindering the sustainability efforts, and also I'm trying to portray the opportunities for sustainability development in private education in Indonesia, and also proposing actionable strategies for long-term sustainability for private educations. Here is the landscape of private higher educations in general. Well, Indonesia, as you can see on everyone can see here in my PowerPoint on the screen, that the total higher education institutions in Indonesia is 4,530. I put the sources below it, and this is in 2025. And the very small number of state university is only 125. These universities are spread in the provinces in Indonesia, but not provinces in Indonesia have a have state university. Mostly they are perhaps about 30 of the state university. They are located in Java. Central Java is Java, and West Java, and also Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. Like me, I live in Central Java, where universities are everywhere. I mean, it's very easy to access whether it is private or state university. And you can see, everybody can see here in the number of private university is of course the rest of the total number is 4,398. Well, approximately it means that 65% of higher education institutions are private, and the enrollment of the students, they go to the private universities. There are about 9 million students, college age students, who are now in Indonesia, and I think 60%, based on the data, 60% they study in the private universities. Well, here are the role of the private universities in Indonesia. Again, I already explained previously that private university fill out the gap between public university capacity and the demand. So the demand is very high, and the state capacity is very limited. That is why private university has a very, very important role in Indonesia for everything, socially, economically, educationally, and politically. And a private university provide access to education, especially in underserved areas that state university could not provide these matter. And then the last is that private university offers programs that tailor local and regional labor market needs. So that is why the curriculums of the private university, if they want to have stable sustainability, they need to meet the needs of the industry, current industry. Well, here are the challenges. Well, you see the number of the private university in Indonesia is so big. Okay, it's a more than 4,000, but we are facing challenges like funding. Funding is the major issues of the private universities in Indonesia. Well, because the limited number of the government fund for private university, I think it's about 5%, more or less, and that is why private university sometimes it's very hard for them to. They have very much struggling in what is it, maintaining their sustainability because of this problem. Funding in private university very much relies on students' tuition fee, and then intense competitions for the students. Intense competitions for the students here means that students of the private universities they need compete because the proliferations of private institutions has led to a saturated market, making it difficult for smaller or less established university to attract students. If it is compared to the very good private university and very small private universities. And furthermore, with the state universities. Well, and we are also facing that the complex regulatory environment. Well, regulatory environment possess obstacles with the complex accreditation processes and compliance requirements, often burdening private universities. A report by the World Bank in 2021 highlights that the inconsistent enforcement of regulations and lack of transparency further exacerbate these challenges, limiting the growth and the quality of private higher educations in Indonesia. Well, here is the sustainability of the higher educations. We must integrating of the sustainable practices into teaching, research, operations, and community engagement, and fostering a culture of responsibility and addressing global challenges. Well, talking about the community research operations and community engagement that relies much on the tuition fee, it's really difficult for the private university, especially the small universities, to build their resilience to fight for making a very good progress in developing their private universities. Well, there are three pillars of sustainability: economics, the financial stability and resources, and efficiency. I think the private universities should very much, because they rely on the tuition fee, they need to manage their financial very carefully, trying to find many resources from other, not inside the universities, but other resources such like industries, government, local government, could be an international fund, perhaps, if there are any, especially for the small universities, and this is very important also for them to have the resource efficiency. One of the resource efficiencies that perhaps that can be implemented in the private universities, just like my university has done, like blended learning or paperless. Everything is paperless, like letters, exams. So and also so everything is stored in a internet, through internet, to the technology, because it really reduced the cost of everything. And then social equity, diversity, and inclusions. The social equity here means that only 50% private university have the social equity that private university needs to to have to struggle or to to compete with the state university for the equity and diversity and the inclusions. And the equity here means that ensuring the education is accessible to all and that university contributed to the community development. And then the environmental pillar it is reducing the ecological print. It involves that institutions could do this initiatives such as the energy efficiency, waste reductions, and sustainable campus design, according to the associations for the advancements of sustainability in higher education. Integrating these three pillars into institutional strategies is essential for achieving holistic sustainability. For example, we have I give you the example of Gajah Mada University. This is very popular in Indonesia, but this is state university, have implemented green campus initiatives, demonstrating how environmental sustainability can align with economic and social goal, and sustainability initiatives limiting their ability to compete with public and international institutions. Well, actually, I have talked about this previously, but this one is very detailed for the economic challenges. Here, 70 to 80% of revenue is relies on the tuition fees of private higher education institutions. In Indonesia, face significant financial constraint due to their heavy reliance on tuition fee as the primary source of revenue, unlike public university, which receive substantial government funding. Private institutions depend largely on students' fee to cover operational costs, including faculty salaries, infrastructures, maintenance, and administrative expenses, and limited access to funding. Less than 5%, I explained this previously, receive direct grants, while public university receive grants largely excluded from such funding mechanism, according to the Ministry of Educational Culture, Research and Technology in 2022. Less than 5% of private university receive direct government grants or subsidy. Well, of course, this disparity creates an uneven playing field, as private institutions must rely on tuition fees and private donations to sustain operations. Here's the environmental challenges also I explained previously. I think I can escape this. Well, here is the conclusions that private higher education in Indonesia play a vital role in Indonesia education system by addressing the demand of tertiary educations. They face significant challenges, including funding constraints, intense competition, and regulatory hurdles. Addressing economic, social, and environmental challenges is so crucial for the long-term sustainability of the private educations, and strategic initiative and collaborative efforts are needed sustainability of sustainable higher education sector in Indonesia. Well, here is the recommendations that can be used also for my university. Well, my university actually have done so many things to build the resilience and sustainability of the private higher education. Here is my university, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Indonesia. Well, we have diversity funding resources, yes, because we have a strategic partnerships with some industry. We have industry not only in national but local industries, and we also especially for our research development and community engagement. And by doing this, we also promote our university outside. And then we also try to attract the international funding to our university so far. And for the implement green campus initiative, this is maybe my university needs to concentrate more, or especially for the marine and fishery faculties and engineering faculties. They need to have more engagement, community engagement, focusing on preserving. But we have done so far like coral reef reservations doing by the marine and fisheries and marine science faculty. And enhanced scholarship and financial aid. My university also doing this. Is also doing this. We are attracting the like Indonesia Bank for a scholarship from Indonesian Bank for those who are talented students, very good students. And we have the numbers of these scholarships are quite big in my university, coming from Indonesian Bank. And then we have also attract the scholarships. We have a strategic partnership with the Commissions 10. That's the Indonesian Parliamentary Board. They also this board also gives us or provide us with some scholarship. That's a big number of scholarship for students in my university. We also has scholarship from the local government and as well as the local industries or local companies in our university. And for the the last is the improving accreditation and quality standards. My university is accredited excellence by the National Accreditation Board of Indonesia. I think it's there are 154 universities in Indonesia that are accredited excellence by our National Accreditation Board, and one of them is my university, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal. It means that my university in the past we had only very good accreditations, but now we have the excellence. Means that my university has a very good program in maintaining or in developing the sustainability in higher educations. And the last one is this one is needs to have the cooperations between societies, the academic members, and some associations of the academic members to support, to talk about or to discuss about government policies that in the future will be very not really complicated for us as the private university, because we have a very big role in Indonesia for the next for the Indonesian future Indonesians Indonesians future, correct. And thank you so much for listening my presentations today. Thank you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yoga. Can everyone please give Dr. Yoga a round of applause for her very insightful information on sustainability in Indonesia? So thank you, Dr. Yoga. And now we can move on to the second expert, but the second expert, Dr. Marian, she is very busy today. So instead of doing a live presentation, I will be playing her video recording of the presentation. And if you have any questions for both Dr. Yoga and Dr. Marian, please don't forget to drop it in the chat box so that both experts will be able to address those questions during the Q&A session. So allow me to share my screen of the recording. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, so I'll start playing the presentation and please let me know if you can hear the sound and see the pictures very clearly.
Mabuhay from Capital State University.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mabuhay from
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Magandang hapon sa inyong mga tanan. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'll be sharing with you how Capital State University strengthens its international partnerships while ensuring sustainability in education. As we know, in an increasingly globalized world, international collaborations are no longer optional but essential for academic and research excellence. So throughout this presentation, I'll be sharing with you strategies for building long-term collaborations, examine best practices, and how we maintain strong partnerships, and discuss how CAPSU was able to enhance its global presence while addressing key challenges. So you may ask, why do we engage in international partnerships? For CAPSU, one is that it provides valuable exposure to global learning environments. It allows our students and faculty to experience diverse educational approaches and cultural perspectives that enrich their academic journey. Second is that the projects that we try to co-host or host on focus on sustainability and innovation, which creates opportunities for knowledge sharing and the development of solutions to global challenges through combined expertise and resources. Third is that our partnerships with international universities help our students and faculty gain diverse academic experiences and career opportunities while building essential cross-cultural understanding and communication skills. And of course, lastly, partnerships help students and faculty gain diverse academic experiences and open to more career opportunities. So you may ask, what do you think are the valuable benefits of international partnerships for our institution, especially for our students? First one is that CAPSU is able to establish several memorandums of agreement and academic linkages with international institutions, which allows us to create foundations for ongoing collaboration and exchanges. And the second one is that most of our current programs are strategically aligned with sustainable development goals. We try to co-host activities, webinars, and conferences that are focused on SDGs, which ensures that our international efforts contribute to global priorities and challenges. Next is that faculty and student exchanges, research collaborations, and global conferences from the cornerstone of CAPSU's international engagement strategy provides multiple pathways for global interaction. So how do we strategize in building sustainable partnerships? Capsule streamlines partnerships through its strategies on successful partnerships among other Philippine universities that have established lasting collaborations with international institutions. So we do so by first establishing clear, comprehensive agreements with international partners and global institutions, which creates a solid foundation for a long-term collaboration and mutual understanding of expectations. Next is that developing collaborative research programs allows us to create structural incentives for ongoing collaboration, ensuring that these partnerships that we create remain active and productive over time. We make sure that they don't remain stagnant. Third is that we try to utilize digital platforms for virtual collaborations, which somehow reduce costs and environmental impact while we maintain connection and engagement between in-person exchanges. And of course, encouraging balanced. These two-way exchanges ensures that partnerships remain equitable and beneficial for all participating institutions and individuals. So for Capsule to be able to manage partnerships and collaborations, we have dedicated International Affairs Office, which is headed by the Vice President of External Affairs and Linkages, which manages global partnerships more effectively. So through this, Capsule was able to manage and strengthen its international office to oversee sustainability in all its efforts. So what are the best practices for academic research exchanges? First is that we establish comprehensive guidelines for student and faculty mobility. This includes international mobility protocols, contingency plans, academic expectations, and evaluation standards to ensure smooth implementations and transitions. Next is that we also conduct collaborative research projects with shared funding proposals to create sustainable, mutually beneficial research partnerships and collaborations. The recent one that we're having right now is for research mentoring, in which we exchange panel of experts with our partner institutions. The third one is that we try to provide thorough cultural orientation and language preparation for students and faculty before mobility to facilitate successful adaptation and meaningful engagement. And we try to secure ongoing commitment from university leadership to maintain long-term partnerships through dedicated resources, recognition, and strategic prioritization. Here in the Philippines, some SUCs or state universities and colleges like Capital State University struggle to sustain partnerships because of perhaps the following reasons. First one is that limited funding for exchange programs and research collaborations can restrict participation and sustainability. That's the most common one. Sometimes when you participate to international conferences, it would be very costly. So it would deter us to be able to participate, and hence the partnership would not be sustainable. Next is that variations in education policies and academic calendars somehow create difficulties in aligning schedules for exchanges, like in our recent one, the Sea Teacher Student Exchange Program. It's just good because we were able to have this exchange with our partners already from the previous batches. So we get to agree ahead when we are going to have these exchanges. So we get to prepare since we have planned already the the time of our exchange. But it could be challenging for many is that the language differences and varying cultural expectations regarding teaching methods and the different academic practices, which can create adjustment challenges for participating students and faculty. Some partnerships, the 4-to-1, fade over time due to lack of follow-up, changing institutional priorities, that could be one of the challenges as well, change in leadership, or personal changes that affect relationship continuity. So how do we support our institution, or how do we sustain this internationalization? What are our strategies? Capiz University ensures the sustainability of its internationalization efforts by somehow leveraging strategic partnerships to enhance academic collaboration, support systems, funding, and global integration for mutual benefit. So first one is that we try to establish international academic partnerships. The university, CAPSU, actively engages in agreements with foreign institutions to somehow facilitate student and faculty exchange programs, joint research initiatives to somehow ensure global exposure for our academic community. Next is that we try to enhance mobility programs, enhance and enrich our mobility programs, in which CAPSU supports international internships, study tours, and training programs, which somehow provide students and faculty with opportunities to gain cross-cultural experiences and global competencies. We actually help our students and our faculty, we encourage our students and faculty to engage in mobility programs. Third is hosting international conferences and webinars. We try to co-host and host international conferences by organizing international research symposiums, academic forums, collaborative trainings and workshops through experts' knowledge or experts sharing. We try to create a platform for knowledge exchange, networking, and innovation for our academic community. And last one, most important of all, is that the curriculum internationalization. The university tries to integrate global perspectives into its academic programs by somehow adapting internationally aligned curricula. We try to offer foreign language courses and embed global best practices in instruction and in research. So you may also ask, how can CAPSU, you may ask as well, how can CAPSU further enhance our internationalization efforts? First one is that we try to achieve meaningful contributions to global challenges, in which we can engage in international research collaboration, address climate change for sustainable development goals, food security, and sustainable development. We try to create new regional and global partnerships, which somehow expands collaborations with both local and international universities, industries, and organizations, which somehow enhance student and faculty exchange opportunities. Next is that we try to strengthen digital collaboration platforms. We try to invest in virtual learning. We do online research sharing networks. Our research mentoring is done online as well, and international webinars, which somehow foster global academic engagement in the comforts of their host or their home country, which is somehow more practicable in our end. And last one is that we try to promote sustainable education in all partnerships. So we try to integrate sustainability, which focused on curricula and eco-friendly initiatives and international collaborations, which will support long-term global impact. So in here, we could ask, why would we try to, or what are we going to do to have these strong international partnerships? What is essential for CAPSU's growth? Okay, so by fostering long-term collaborations, implementing best practices, and addressing challenges strategically, we can ensure that our international programs remain sustainable and impactful. And in joining this type of expert sharing, we try to create more opportunities for all our academic community. We try to open doors for global perspectives and global opportunities for all our academic, for our students and for our faculty. And with this type of expert sharing, we could also be able to try to move forward, work together with our partners to continue working together as we expand CAPSU's global reach. We strengthen our international ties and create meaningful opportunities for our students and our faculty. Thank you very much, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you for sharing with time, or for joining us this afternoon. And God bless us all. Mabuhay.
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening to the lecture, and thank you, Dr. Marian, for also recording that for us. So next up is the Q&A session that we will be answering the questions from our audience on the topic that our experts have presented. So if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat box and we will address those questions. But first, allow me to share my screen. I can see that there are a few questions inside the chat box. Let me share my screen first. Okay. So we have two topics for the first session. Now we move on to the Q&A session. So we have, let's see the questions. We have a few questions. So the first question is, for a truly sustainable, cost-effective, and multifaceted education of the future, do you think it is imperative to globally harmonize educational systems in every country across digital platforms and social media for a seamless, streamlined, and interactive student-teacher stakeholder experience? Can either Dr. Yoga or Dr. Marian, who is also attending this meeting, so can you answer this question, please?
Okay, Dr. Marian or me?
We can start with Dr. Yoga first.
Okay, well, but actually we have another questions that I think on the outside Philippines that it goes for me, but I would like to answer your questions first that you have mentioned. Well, yeah, harmonizing the, let me check. It's really, I half agree and half disagree of this opinion for harmonizing the educational systems in every country. Well, yes, of course, it has many benefits like seamless collaborations, equal access to the quality education, cost-effective, and the interactive learning. But there are some, I think the challenges are very big. Well, maybe not for all the countries. In certain countries, yes, especially as, for example, in Europe or in Asia, but not globally in one harmonizations, because we have the cultural diversities that really needs to be considered, because cultural diversities also plays a very important role in harmonizing the educations in the future. And then the second is the infrastructure disparity. these countries, among the countries that they have a very different infrastructure disparities, especially those, especially the university who are in underserved areas. They don't have the access, even they don't have the access of internet. Not totally do not have access to the internet, but the internet or the signal of the internet is very difficult. That is why they will struggle much in harmonizing the education systems. And then data privacy concerns, because that's systematically to the technology. So I think data privacy concerns is also the challenge, and the mindset or the resistance to change, politically, economically, or for the ideological reasons, because every country has its own system of the political and also the economical influence in the development of this university, and as important as the ideological reasons. So that is why I'm maybe this need a very, I think it takes time to have a lot of discussion. Well, yes, because but I don't say this is not good. This is very good harmonizing the educational system. But again, it has several challenges that we have to encounter and needs deep discussions among the policymakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Ma'am,
Sugar.
may I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I actually agree with Dr. Yoga. Yes, harmonizing international programs is essential for a global collaboration in academic mobility and workforce somehow readiness, enabling our easier credit transfers, research partnerships, and of course our knowledge exchange. However, it shows a lot of challenges or potential challenges such as varying educational standards. There would be funding limitations, cultural differences that we have to consider, disparities in facilities and infrastructure, such as the digital access, our research laboratories, especially here in the Philippines, sustainable campuses, which can somehow create inequalities among institutions. And additionally, time constraints in aligning the curricula, upgrading infrastructure, and training faculty can slow down this process. Like, I agree, while global alignment offers many benefits, it is crucial to somehow balance standardization with each country's unique needs. We have to consider to ensure education systems remain inclusive, adaptable, and acceptable or accessible despite the many challenges. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marian, for your insights. And let's go to another question. Let's see. So the other questions is related to the efforts that each institution has put into integrating sustainability into your institution. So I would like to know, what are the effects or impacts after you implemented all of those strategies into your institutions? How has it affect the institution in general?
Thank you. Allow me to answer. Yes, of course, it has a very big impact for the sustainability of our institutions. This is why, we have to make a good progress, especially for the international collaboration. So, it is it has a very big role, the international collaborations for sustainability of our education, course, uh, it promotes our universities. In Indonesia, the competition between among the private universities are very very high. We have a 4,000. You can imagine. That is why uh, if we do the sustainability strategies that I have mentioned earlier in my presentation. Yeah, of course. That the point is we will have a good a good funding resources because our university is better than other private university or even the state university, for example, and then the students will come more. It means that our funding will be more because the private university relies very much on the tuition fee, and also because we do the community engagement practices. Of course, the community or the society or the state or other industry, a local industry or national industry will look at us as an established university. They trust us. It means that we will exist for the long term. And that is why the vision and missions of a certain university, like especially in my university, needs to be promoting this sustainability. That is why, for example, our in my university, the vision is globalizations, digitalizations that are very very important in sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yoga. So, Dr. Marian, do you have anything to add?
Uh, yes. Also, for Catholic State University, which is a government higher education institution, we try to integrate sustainability in education because we feel that it is crucial to somehow prepare our students to tackle environmental and social challenges, which is specific to the Catholic province, such as such challenges like climate change, coastal resource management, deforestation, yeah, like those. Copies is somehow vulnerable to typhoons and other natural disasters. So the university tries to incorporate sustainability into its curriculum to equip our students with skills on disaster resilience, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, just to ensure that our graduates contribute to the province's long-term environmental and economic stability. So, Capital State University somehow benefits from government support and partnerships with agencies and industries such as the DOST, which focused on sustainability as well. We try to have these green campus initiatives, the waste management programs, tree planting, mangrove tree planting activities, not only reduce costs, but also promote culture of environmental responsibility among our students and then the faculty. So these efforts somehow inspire our local communities to adopt sustainable practices, which aligns with our national and provincial goals for climate resilience and sustainable development. So through these initiatives, our university plays or tries to play a vital role in driving sustainability efforts in perhaps in Western Visayas and in the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marian. So, thank you both experts for addressing the questions that our audience have. So, I think we should move on to the next session of the presentation. And for the next session, I will hand over the floor to my colleague, Linai. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sol, for hosting the first half of the event. And thank you, Dr. Yoga Prihatin and Dr. Marin Loreto for the amazing presentations. So my name is Enai, and I'll be your MC for the second half of the event. So let me share my screen. May I know if whether my screen is pop up yet?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, for our expert presentation sessions 2, we have 2 experts will be presenting their topic. First is Mrs. Nignor Asima Arifin from Sultan Haji Ahmed Said Polytechnic, Malaysia. And then we have Dr. Donato Zerodo Estochada from Rizal Technological University, the Philippines. So let's start our sessions with our first speaker, Mrs. Nignor Asima Arifin, Senior Lecturer at Department of Civil Engineering. Miss, you can start your presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Chairperson. Can you listen my voice?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you today. My name is Dik Asima, and I'm from Polytechnic Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah, Malaysia. And it is an honor to be here today among the distinguished speaker to present on a topic that is not just relevant, but essential sustainability in international education, how global partnership and collaboration foster long-term impact and equity. So let's dive into the first key point. Well, in a rapidly changing world where industries are evolving, technology is advancing, and environmental concerns are growing, education must also adapt. It is no longer enough to focus solely on academic excellence. We must integrate sustainability into our educational practice to prepare learners from the challenges of the 21st century workplace and beyond. As highlighted in the screen, the International Journal of Sustainable Approach to Education Practice, where a sustainable approach to education goes beyond traditional classroom learning. It blends both formal and informal learning opportunities to empower individuals with the knowledge, skills, attitude, values needed to contribute meaningful to society. Okay, why do we need a sustainable approach in education? So, a sustainable approach in education ensure that learning system remain accessible, inclusive, and future-proof while promoting environmental, social, and economic responsibility. It goes beyond academic achievement, aiming to create resilient, lifelong learners who contribute to a sustainable world. So, education should be available to everyone, regardless of social economic background, geography, or ability. Learning system should adapt to changes in technology, society, and the environment to remain relevant in the long term. Okay. So, education should instill values that promote sustainability in these 3 dimensions, which is environmental, social, and economic responsibility. And in today's interconnected world, learning is no longer confined within national boundaries. So we can say that cross-border educational initiative, it is a collaboration between educational institution, government, and organization across different countries to promote knowledge exchange, research, and skill development. For example, MOU, NOU, MOA, or any cooperation agreements that facilitate international partnership. So through global collaboration, we able to open doors to knowledge exchange, research opportunities, and skill development that transcends geographical limitations. This initiative brings together institutions, governments, and organizations to share expertise, resources, and cultures. So this is an example of activities that we can organize via collaboration. First is mobility exchange program. Second, joint and dual programs, online learning, government policies initiative, research collaboration and partnership, and also transnational education. So, for example, transnational education refers to educational program delivered in a country other than the one where the awarding institution is based. So this collaboration empowers students and educators with a broader perspective, helping them tackle global challenges with innovative solutions. Whether through student exchange program, joint research projects, or international academic partnership, cross-border education fosters mutual understanding, diversity, and progress. And this is an example, one of the collaboration carried out by my institution. One was conducted in physical present mode, while the signing ceremony were held online due to COVID-19 pandemic. So, meaning that even in any situation, we can still work for any collaboration activities. Okay, this is an example of one of mobility program in my institution, which is we accept a team of students from Polytechnic Negeri Jakarta to Polisas, and here we bring them to see the technology of solar electric plant, and then we move to the sustainable development goals in global education network. Education is more than just a fundamental right. It is the key to breaking cycle of poverty, fostering innovation, and ensuring a sustainable future. In SDG 4, quality education, it is a commitment to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This goal is a pivotal driver for positive change, emphasizing the transformative power of education in fostering a sustainable and equitable world. It calls for quality learning that equips individuals with the skill needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. By investing in education, we empower individuals to think critically, solve problems, and contribute meaningful to society. So the key points of SDG 4 is first, inclusive of equitable education. Second, lifelong learning for a sustainable future. Third, skill development for sustainable careers. Global citizenship and responsibility, and strengthening educational infrastructure. So, through these key points, we can ensure that all students, regardless of gender, socioeconomic status, or location, have access to quality education support, so social sustainability by reducing inequalities. And education must go beyond traditional classroom to provide lifelong learning opportunities that help individuals adapt to changing global challenges. So, SDG 4 encourages education system to equip students with skills in environmental sustainability, digital literacy, and innovation, preparing them for green jobs and sustainability industries. So, why is SDG 4 important for sustainability in international education? First, to break the cycle of poverty by providing better job opportunities. To promote gender equality by ensuring equal education for boys and girls. Then, to encourage innovation and economic growth through a skilled workforce, empower individuals to make informed decisions on environmental and social issues, and strengthens communities by fostering tolerance, diversity, and social cohesion. Quality education is not just about academic success. It is the foundation of a sustainable, fair, and thriving world. By supporting SDG 4 in international education, we are investing in a future where every individual has the opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute to a better global society. Next, I will discuss about technology-driven collaboration. While technology is powerful enabler, true sustainability requires a mindset shift, technology-driven collaboration as one of initiatives to support sustainable approach in education. So through technology-driven collaboration, it is enable global connectivity, enhances engagement, and promotes interactive learning experience across borders. Through online learning, virtual mobility program enables students to engage in international education without the need to travel. So this is another innovative model that we can use to support technology-driven collaboration. We know that technology is deeply embedded in students' everyday activities, from smartphone and social media to online learning and entertainment, making it a natural area of interest. Digital tools like education apps, augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, and AI-powered tutors make learning more interactive and enjoyable compared to the traditional method. And this growing demand for technology-related jobs in fields like software development and digital motivate students to explore technology. So we must focus on building resilient education system, empowering educators with digital skills, and ensuring equal access to resources of all learners regardless of their social economic background. So this is an example of one of the collaboration we did with the cooperation with Go Study and Guangxi Polytechnic of Construction. Okay, this is a model of what we call as a technology-driven collaboration. So we can see the change, the transfer of technology in terms of smart classroom, building automation, IoT system in construction, and we also had opportunities to visit new project of Nani Airport as one of case study. Now we discuss about benefits. Benefits of cross-border collaboration are enhancing global competencies, embracing diverse perspective, fostering innovation, and increase accessibility. As we move closer to an education system that is truly sustainable, inclusive, and impactful. So together, let us commit to an educational framework that not only prepares students for the world, but also prepares the world for future generations. And while challenges exist, they are not roadblocks, but they are opportunities for innovation and progress. Some challenges and considerations are as per follow: recognition of qualification across borders, difference in curriculum and education standards, cultural and language barriers, and financial and logistic constraints. By addressing these challenges, we pave the way for more inclusive, accessible, and sustainable education system. So this is the example, one of the program, which is using virtual mode. This is the example of virtual exchange student program that we did. We've involved students from Thailand and Indonesia and Malaysia as well. And this is example of the program that we did in Thailand. It is an English camp where our students involved as facilitators to help students of secondary school in Thailand. So for conclusion, cross-border partnership are more than just collaboration. They are pathway to more interconnected, innovative, and accessible education system. By embracing these opportunities, we prepare students not just for local success, but for global future. So that's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nika Asimov, for such an insightful presentations. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box. So up next, we have Our second speakers, Dr. Donato Chada, the Director of International Affairs and Linkage Office. We are so honored to have you here with us today to present the topic about exploring the path forward in a rapidly evolving global landscapes. So please join me in a warm visual welcome to Dr. Donato Chada. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, especially to our students and faculty members joining us here in this very wonderful expert sharing online. And I'd like to know if our students are still alive in this online session. If I say chicken, you say nuggets, all right? Again, when I say chicken, you say nuggets. Chicken?
Nuggets.
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 Very good. Very good.
Yes.
So thank you so much, guys. So I am very honored to again share my insights about sustainability in international education, and I am representing the Rizal Technological University in the Philippines. Now, my topic is all about exploring the path forward in a rapidly evolving global landscape. Now, as an introduction to this presentation, in a world characterized by rapid technological advancements, shifting geopolitical dynamics, and growing environmental challenges, the concept of sustainability has never been more critical. And as the global education systems strive to meet the needs of diverse populations, sustainability in international education is emerging as a key priority. This involves not only fostering a curriculum that prepares students for a changing world, but also ensuring that educational institutions themselves operate in ways that are socially, economically, and environmentally responsible. Now, as we navigate this evolving landscape, it is essential to explore how international education can adapt and contribute to a more sustainable future, preparing students to be both global citizens and advocates for a better, more sustainable world. Now, this discussion will explore the key challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, focusing on how educational systems can incorporate sustainability into their structures, curricula, and broader international collaborations. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you, Andre. Now, hold on. Now, sustainability in education focuses on creating systems that promote a long-term positive impacts across three key areas: social, economic, and environmental. Now, in the context of international education, this means developing practices that ensure all students, regardless of background or location, have access to quality education. It also involves addressing pressing global challenges such as climate change, inequality, and resource scarcity within the educational frameworks. Now, the goal is to prepare students to become responsible global citizens who can contribute to solving these issues while ensuring that educational systems themselves operate in a way that is ethical, inclusive, and environmentally conscious. Next slide, sir, please. All right. Now, globalization and increased interconnectivity have led to a surge in student mobility across borders. In the Philippines, we have millions of students from other countries, creating a more environmental global education system. In RTU now, we have students from Angola, Nigeria, Papua New Guinea, China, and also from Congo. Now, as students from different cultures, countries, and backgrounds come together, educational institutions are facing new challenges and opportunities in addressing diverse needs. In this context, sustainability has become a central theme in educational development worldwide. RTU has just launched its SDG marker last year, initiating our actions to transforming our campus into a sustainable campus. Now, institutions are now focused in ensuring that educational systems are inclusive, environmentally responsible, and economically viable. I was in Malaysia last week and I visited a lot of universities there in Malaysia, and I was so surprised about the universities' initiatives for sustainable development goals. And these are actually displayed, in front of their universities. Now, this shift reflects a growing recognition that education should not only prepare students for a globalized world, but also promote sustainable practices that support long-term societal and environmental well-being. In our campus in RTU, we have started, I think the Supreme Student Council has passed a solution that all student activities should be anchored to the Sustainable Development Goals. And also, we are now starting to integrate Sustainable Development Goals in our curriculum, in our research, and in our extension. We have also created a committee for sustainable development in campus, and we also have established student ambassadors for sustainable development goals to lead sustainable initiatives in our campus. Next slide, please. Now, there are 3 pillars of sustainability. Now, the 3 ESG pillars and the SDGs. Now, when we talk about sustainability, we're talking about development model that can meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own. Now, it's a holistic approach that considers the social, environmental, and economic impacts of actions and decisions taken today. Next slide, sir, please. Next slide, sir. Okay, now for the challenges in sustainability for international education. Okay. Now, sustainability education plays a vital role in equipping individuals with the knowledge and skills needed to address pressing environmental and social issues. However, in developing nations, systemic barriers often impede the successful implementation of sustainability-focused curricula. Now, despite the increasing global emphasis on sustainable development, many education systems in these regions struggle to integrate sustainability principles due to economic constraints, infrastructural deficiencies, and policy gaps. Now, this article, there are articles that actually provides a thorough analysis of the state of sustainability education in developing nations, focusing on policy implementation challenges and opportunities that can drive meaningful progress. In my university in RTU, we are just so lucky that the management of the university is very supportive in our quest for sustainable development goals, or in our quest for transforming our university into an SDG campus, okay? Because it's aligned in our vision to become a smart university. Now, so the challenges that I would like to give emphasis there include the economic challenges, which include the high cost of education for international students, okay? Economic disparities in access for global education, the lack of financial resources, insufficient teacher training and awareness, and limited access to educational resources. Now, when we talk about lack of financial resources, one of the most significant barriers to sustainability education in developing countries is the lack of adequate funding. Now, governments in low-income countries often prioritize basic education over specialized curricula, leaving sustainability education underfunded. Now, the absence of dedicated financial resources limits the development of instructional materials, teacher training programs, and sustainability-related extracurricular activities. Now, when we talk about insufficient teacher training and awareness, teachers play a crucial role in disseminating sustainability knowledge, yet many educators in developing countries lack the necessary training and expertise. Now, sustainability education requires a multidisciplinary approach that integrates environmental science, economic, and social studies. So without adequate professional development, teachers struggle to deliver engaging and effective sustainability lessons, thereby hindering students' understanding of complex sustainability concepts. Now, another challenge is the limited access to educational resources. Again, I'd like to know if our participants are still alive. When I say chicken, you say nuggets. Chicken?
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Very good. Very good, guys. Thank you for that. It's 4:29. It's very unholy. It's very holy hour. So I'm going back to my discussions on the limited access to educational resources. So, many schools in developing nations face a shortage of textbooks, laboratory equipment, and digital tools necessary for comprehensive sustainability education. Now, rural schools in particular suffer from infrastructural deficiencies that limit students' exposure to sustainability-related learning materials. Now, the digital divide further exacerbates the problem. Now, as many students lack access to online resources and e-learning platforms that could enhance their sustainability knowledge. Now, I'd like also to add the cultural and societal barriers. No, when we talk about cultural and societal barriers, cultural attitudes and societal norms can also pose challenges to sustainability education. In certain communities, traditional beliefs may contradict scientific explanations of climate change and environmental conservation. Additionally, socioeconomic priorities often place immediate survival needs over long-term sustainability considerations, making it difficult to instill sustainability values among students and communities. Next slide, please. All right. The last one among the challenges I'm going to present to you is related to political and policy issues. Now, although some developing countries have introduced sustainability policies within their educational frameworks, implementation remains inconsistent. Weak governance structures, lack of political will, and bureaucratic inefficiencies contributes to fragmented policy execution. In some cases, sustainability education is included in curricula without clear guidelines on how to integrate it effectively, leading to superficial or inconsistent coverage of key topics. Now, next slide, sir, please. Let's now talk about the opportunities for sustainability in international education. Now, the first one is green campuses and sustainable practices. In fact, RTU starting this semester, this month and next month will be implementing the no plastic and no styrofoam policy, and will also be transforming gardens in RTU to become brain forests. Now, to encourage students to use this area for discussions and other intellectual activities. Okay. Green campuses and sustainable practices implementing eco-friendly infrastructure, renewable energy, and waste reduction programs. And supporting sustainable travel options such as virtual learning and hybrid models. Okay. So instead of traveling, we are also engaged in international student mobility. In fact, I was in Malaysia. I brought 20 students in Malaysia last week. In total, last year, in 2024, RT was able to send at least 140 students for international mobility program. That's both for face-to-face and virtual. Now, promoting inclusivity and access, creating affordable pathways for students from diverse backgrounds, increasing scholarships and partnerships for students in underrepresented regions. Next slide, sir, please. Next slide, please. Andre, please. Next slide, please. Oh. Hello, Andre. All right. The next, another opportunity is digital transformation and virtual education. It's leveraging technology for international collaborations and virtual mobility, expanding access to international education through online platforms. And another one is collaboration across borders, partnerships between universities to share resources and knowledge. In fact, RT was able to, in just 1 year, RT was able to forge partnerships for not lower than 45 partners last year. Now, RTU is also in partnership with our other partners. We are also engaged in collaborative online international learning platform, or we call it COIL platform. Okay. Next slide, sir, please. Now, another opportunity could be strengthening policy frameworks and government commitment. Developing nations can improve sustainability education by establishing clear, well-funded policy frameworks that prioritize environmental literacy. Okay, so one of the questions actually addressed a while ago is the question on the harmonization of the sustainability efforts among countries, which can it's a very good question actually. Now, so developing nations can improve sustainability education by establishing a clear, a very good, a clear vision or direction should be presented in order for the member countries to implement sustainable development goals in their actions. Next slide, sir, please. Now, some examples of best practices in international education integrating sustainable development is that the Green Campus initiatives of the University of California's commitment to carbon neutrality by 2025, sustainability programs like waste management, energy efficiency, and sustainable food sourcing, and inclusive education models, example, the Erasmus Mundus program, providing scholarships for students from developing countries and international mobility programs that enhance inclusivity and opportunities. Next slide, sir, please. And for digital education and collaboration, it's an example is a massive open online courses or MOOCs offering international learning without the need for physical travel. Okay. As I mentioned, we are also using the COIL, or the Collaborative Online International Learning Platform programs that connect students across the globe. Okay, this is a very good initiative to connect students from across the board, across countries without traveling from one country to another, and it is less of an expense. Next slide, sir, please. Now, let's discuss briefly the role of policymakers in sustainable education. So let's talk about international policy coordination, harmonizing visa policies, and reducing barriers to student mobility. When I attended the NAPSA conference in New Orleans last year, one of the questions actually addressed is the United States of America, the US universities are actually encouraging students from different countries to study abroad, but there is really a challenge when it comes to application of the visa. Okay, so there is an irony actually there, because they are really wanting for more students to study there, but then there is a really difficulty in application for student visa abroad. Support for governments and educational organizations working together to promote sustainability. Support for green initiatives. Governments offering funding and support for sustainable campus developments. I think the government in other countries are actually allocating a very good budget for their universities to be utilized in sustainable development goals. Now, equitable education policies, ensuring that policy decisions do not exclude vulnerable or marginalized groups for access to education. Next slide, sir, please. Another one is shift toward hybrid learning. The rise of online learning combined with in-person experiences reduces the need for international travel, lowering environmental impact, growing focus on SDG, educational institutions aligning their programs with the United Nations development goals, particularly SDG 4, quality education, and SDG 13, climate action. Now, one of the best SDG initiative of RTU now is the quality education, access to education by partnering with a what is that? With a pertinent partners across countries. Like we have partners in USA. We have the Tech Edify USA. They provide us AI learning platform. We also have partners in Malaysia for skilling and upskilling program for our students, faculty members, and staff as well. Now, for sustainable mobility, universities and organizations promoting responsible and sustainable travel options for students using technology to reduce the need for physical travel while enhancing international experiences. Next slide, sir, please. Now, to end my presentation, I would like to say that sustainability in international education is not just about preserving resources, but about nurturing global citizens who can shape a future where collaboration, understanding, and responsibility guide the way to learn and grow together. Next slide, sir, please. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day, everyone, and may God bless you more and more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Donato Estochada, for sharing such an amazing experience with us. I'm sure everyone learns a lot from your knowledge sharing. And if anyone has any questions, please type them in the chat box. So I'm going to share my screen. Can anyone see my screen? Everyone see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So up next is our Q&A session. So there's some questions for our speakers. So the first question is, how is the educations for sustainable development being promoted? So can one of our speakers answer this question?
Hi,
Okay.
Hi, I'm
Yes,
Lee from
Miss.
Malaysia.
Yes,
Thank you for the
Mrs.
question. In my opinion, instead of embed the education, the accessible SDG in curriculum, we can promote to the students through extracurricular activities. And then maybe we can introduce to the students by doing knowledge sharing, invite a speaker from outside the organization, and then also do a lot of competition to promote the SDG. Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. for answering the question. So Dr. Donato, do you want to add anything on this question?
Yeah, sure. In RTU, what we did was we started with the launching of the SDG markers in an area where students or where everybody could see the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And after that, we actually have last year we conducted the SDG Congress for our officials, directors, deans, and unit heads. And we also conducted the Sustainable Development Goals Congress for our students. Now we are now starting with the help of our Supreme Student Council. The Student Council has passed a resolution for the integration of the SDG in all the activities of the student organizations in the campus. Another initiative to promote SDG in education is that the integration of the SDG in the instructions in the research and extension. So those so far are the initiatives of RTU when it comes to promoting SDG in the campus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And let's have one more questions. So I would like to ask our speakers, so what are some creative ways to engage students in sustainability projects? So
Well,
yeah.
To engage student with sustainability project, for me, we can introduce students during final year project. I think students we explore about SDG related to their final year project. So they will explore any I mean can explore any in any terms of SDG in their final year project. Okay, so for example, I have given the task for the students as for their final year project about the grid building system and how to manage water system, also to embed IoT in their project. Because by doing IoT project is one of the achievement, or we can achieve one of the SDG. Okay.
I see. Thank you so much for answering the questions. And for Dr. Donato, do you wanna add something on the question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, in RTU, we started with to really promote engagement of students to sustainability. We established our 17 student ambassadors for SDG, right? So these 17 students are coming from the different colleges in the university to ensure that every college has a representation in the 17 SDG. Another initiative is that we integrated the SDG in our feasibility study and in our business plans as well. So meaning, in our feasibility study paper, the student proposal should be anchored with any of the SDG. If their proposals do not hit any of the SDG, it will not be approved. And another one is that we posted the SDG markers, the 7 SDGs in the classrooms for our students to be reminded always of the 17 SDG. And on top of that, thank you to the Supreme Student Council of RTU for being so active in partnering with International Affairs Office in promoting sustainable development goals in the campus. So for now, I could say that students in RTU are really oriented and now are engaging in sustainable development goals. By next month, we will be having a project on campus greening. So it will also we'll also invite students to join us in planting plants inside growing plants in the campus, and also some other SDG initiatives in the campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to both our speakers for answering the question in a very detailed manner. And thank you to our participant as well for asking good questions. So before wrapping up the events, we will have a group photo session. So can everyone open up their cameras and take a group photos with us just for a minute? And Miss Becky, can you please help taking the group photo? Thank you.
Lina, can you stop sharing your screen so she can take the group photo?
Yeah.
Yes, please, everyone, just look at the camera and have a good smile. Thank you. Yes, because we have so many participants today, and we have 3 pages. So wait for a second. And for the second page also. Yes. Okay, a second, just the last page.
Okay, everyone, I will count it down 3, 2, 1, and we will do the screenshot. Okay, the first screenshot, 3, 2, 1, smile. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, let's do the one more time. Please keep your smile. Okay, 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and thank you all of our experts and the participants of today's meeting. Thank you so much, Dr. Donnie and Miss Nick, Dr. Yoga, and Miss Marianne. Thank you so much for your wonderful. Many thanks
Thank you,
for
Miss
all our
Luna. Thank you,
participants to join.
everyone.